what happens when you try and look after the environment.
Alright Michael, where are we?
Alright, well today we are down at TuneTech because we are finally, well I'm not going to say finally, it's not been that long. We are going to get the VY on the dyno and see if we don't cover Jake's wall in a nice lovely colour of LS bottom end. I'll admit, this isn't the first day that we've been here with the VY. Because we were here a couple of days ago, we were all ready to go, we had it all strapped in, and then Jake came across this little thing, and this was sort of just laying there in the wind just by the turbo. And I said, is that a problem that that's not plugged in? He goes, yeah, that's kind of a problem. So this is our air temp sensor, and it wasn't plumbed in. We completely forgot about it. Now that's a big issue when it comes to a charged car because obviously the turbocharger makes everything hot because it's got to go through intercooler. The ECU needs to know what the air temp is going into the car to figure everything out. So what we did at a mad rush, we ended up getting a hold of a new air temp sensor from Raceworks and a bung. We welded that into the charge pipe. That's now ready to go in, and we can put that in so it'll actually read it. Jake's done some mad calculations to make sure that the ECU will read it. And now all we need to do is basically extend the wiring to go from there to there. And then hopefully this should work. And what else have they done?
So last weekend while we were fixing another car, Daniel and Josh came in and kind of worked on this and finished it up. They ended up putting gold tape all under the bonnet because they originally just cut a hole there on the original heat mat, and it was rubbing against the turbo, and we just said switch it out to this. So this actually isn't the 50mm tape, this is the sheet form that Raceworks sell, and it looks good.
Yeah, it looks sick. It's turned out really well.
What else? On the power steering bottle, we put a 90 on that because it was actually rubbing against the turbo, and now there's no power steering lines rubbing against the turbo. Yeah, that one is nowhere near it now as well.
Looks much better, and obviously, yeah, away from the heat.
The overflow for the radiator is now fitted to this cylinder style Raceworks one. The battery isolator switch is now mounted. Daniel has the cover to go here, but he didn't want to put that on yet because he didn't want to melt it on the turbo. That's about everything they did, and it was pretty much what needed to just be finished off.
Yeah, and one major thing.
Oh yeah, bonnet struts.
So the bonnet stays up now, which is a big help.
So yeah, it looks good. It's ready to go. It's ready to just melt everything now on the dyno.
Yes, we'll see what happens.
We'll just fix the air temp sensor and then we'll send it.
Yeah, see what happens.
Yeah.
I'll run it across here and hopefully we won't have any issues. Goodbye.
Turn the battery on?
I haven't actually because it's about to get them.
There's the isolator.
Oh, there's an isolator. It's a bad habit of mine. That's what we're here for. Alright.
All good?
I reckon we can turn it back on.
Okay, show us what we've done.
So yeah, we've just run the sensor to here. I just ran the wiring across the top of the radiator here so it gets nice and warm. And we should be right to go now. Everything's plugged back in.
Cool.
Power back on. Hopefully she starts. And let's see what this thing will do.
Done.
Oh, so we probably should explain before we see what this thing should do. We're going to actually wear this engine in, or bed this engine in on the dyno. So Jake's going to run through a bed-in procedure basically, just loading up, unloading it, all the sort of things that you do on the dyno, which you can do in a controlled environment. And then from there we'll start looking for actually tuning and power numbers after that. So, you nervous?
A little bit, yeah. I'm excited and nervous at the same time, but
What about you?
faith.
Oh man, I'm good. I got my chair, everything, I'm good.
I got my chair as well too, just gonna sit there, just watch and go, yeah, not our problem.
Not our problem.
That's it, that's safe position. Where are we at, Nath?
So Jake has run in the engine to the point where he says it's good to go. So we're going to dump the running oil that is currently in the engine. We also want to replace the O2 sensor, which I don't know why we're doing that. Why are we doing that?
Wideband.
Oh, we're putting the wire band sensor. Oh, so it's running the factory one now, isn't it?
Yeah, just for the running, just look up.
Yeah, okay. So we're going to put the wideband sensor in it, and then dump the oil, and then we can start hitting it.
Yeah, see what it really does.
Yeah.
And when we say we're doing the oil, he's doing the oil.
So you can see he came prepared.
He's appropriately dressed, yeah. Other than that, Jake, everything's going well so far?
Yeah, it looks good. So the way we run them in, pick different load points and just watch the torque. You can see the torque graph just slowly increase as the cylinders seal up and it makes more torque. So that's how you can tell it's bedding in properly.
Yep.
I was going to try and explain that, but it was good that he did it.
Yeah. Science.
Here's the filter, actually.
I think it's a small one. I'm interested to see this oil, see what it looks like. Let's see the night sky.
That's hot.
That's hot. Oh wow, that's cool. We need one of them.
A lot of them have that.
Well, that does.
I was using that for the...
That's because ours is a bottle cut in half.
Yeah, I know. Real technical. But that's how you know how much oil you need to replace, because if it goes over that, it's like 5.5 litres.
That's true, yeah.
When it overfills, you need to do that panic way. Stop the bottle.
Oh, that's it.
Daniel's,
just dropped.
Daniel's gonna come out looking like a coal miner.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at his arm. Isn't this so nice, just getting to sit back and watch him do the work?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
We've done our bit.
We have. I think I got a little dirty when I...
Yeah, let me just get a little
yeah,
smudge
thanks.
this. Don't overfill it.
Yeah, can you see the line? Because I can't look at that.
What's this?
So this is Jake's wideband sensor gauge thingy set up.
Oh, that's a cool idea.
So this is what we're gonna tap into the exhaust, so then Jake gets an accurate reading. The reading from the one in the exhaust bung out the back is a bit too far away.
Oh, so yeah, low engine speed or low gas flow. Fresh air goes backwards up the exhaust.
That's it.
Yeah. So you end up with a leaner mixture at low throttles. But this one also plugs straight into laptop over serial. So yeah, it's nice and quick and accurate.
So question, when now that we're taking the O2 sensor out of this, the narrow band, how does the ECU not freak out and go, what's going on?
It does.
It does? Yeah. But you have to like override or
You
something?
just tell it, it's fine.
You're just like,
HTML, it's fine, that's coding. We're going chick shit. I really want to just do it so we can do it, but I don't want to do it.
I don't want to get under there either.
I don't want to get under there.
No, Daniel's gone under, he's also changed over the O2 sensor, so we have that wideband sensor hooked in now. Oil's been filled back up, we should be good to go, and now we're looking at actually tuning, yeah? And with that will come power rods, eventually, when we get to it.
Sick.
And that's when we all do this, please, 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 please. Oh wait, before we go anywhere, most importantly, do we have power predictions?
Oh yeah, power numbers.
I'm gonna say 310 at the rears, kilowatts.
Okay, 310.
310?
386.
386.
Probably 330.
I think it's going to get 373.
373.
373 kilowatts.
I feel like mine's too low then. Hang on, I'm gonna go.
No, use that.
Well, how much boost are we going?
Like
8. So 12. We go, well, I don't know. We might hit. We'll start at 8. We'll do 360. Yeah. And then 12 will do 399.
My question is, how are you going to feel when it beats the Fairlane power-wise?
I don't care. It's a V8. I was just going to tie a knot.
Yeah, buds are good for something. Hey, you got to say it.
That's not going anywhere. Actually, that's pretty solid.
Get the cooker out, cook a nice little meal here.
I got noodles there.
Get the noodles out.
I don't know if it has water in there. It might.
A couple of drinks. Dyno in style.
That's it.
This is living, Barry.
This is dyno tuning. that's it. Jake's done with all like the base settings and stuff like that. He's ready to start turning it up and we can see what we can do.
Yeah.
It's all just a test to see what happens.
If the gate opens.
If it opens. We'll hear it if it opens.
Yeah, if it doesn't, we'll see a rod go, woo!
Yeah.
And they'll tell us it didn't open.
All right, let's do it.
Alright, so we've just gone for our first power run. I think it topped out at 200 kilo or something like that because it didn't go to, we didn't push it completely just yet because there is an issue. So when we installed this wastegate, there was a lot of controversy about was this wastegate position going to work? Did we put it in the wrong spot? Now, we did not believe what was in the comments. We had a feeling this might be the case, but we figured because, you know, we have Jake here who lets us come and use the dyno and such, we thought, you know what, rather than hear from a friend of ours that wastegate position won't work, let's test the theory and find out for ourselves whether it doesn't work, and we've done that today. Today we figured out that no, in fact, it's not exactly working. We hit 10 pounds straight away where we should only have been hitting 7 pounds, shouldn't have been, Jake? Yeah, around 7 pounds. So the boost is still creeping way past wastegate pressure. What does this mean? It means that we need to go away, we need to reassess our crossover pipe and where we have the wastegate and positioning. We have answered the question, we have tested the science. Did we get our wastegate position wrong when we welded it all up, put it all together? And so it didn't work. That's okay, like we said, we wanted to test the theory. Now we can say for ourselves that we know it don't work. Now we need to fix that. So we're back here for day 3 now of the dyno. Third time lucky, we hope. But hopefully we've sorted all the issues that we had left in this thing. So what have we done? We took this back the other day and we've done a bit of work since then. So we have repositioned the wastegate, which is our biggest issue. I ended up talking to Spool and Boost and said, hey, have you guys had any issues with these wastegates, being that it's a 38mm, and there's a few people in the comments saying it needs to be bigger. I spoke to them, they said, we've had no issues with the 38mm, should be fine, but your positioning is terrible, like everyone said in the comments as well too. So now it's been moved to the driver's side and it's coming off the driver's side bank, right on the 90 degrees. Way better flow, it looks a lot better, and yeah, hopefully this solves our issue. While I had the exhaust out, I ended up putting another muffler in this thing as well too, so there's now a center muffler, which is actually, sounds like it has fixed that incredible overrun noise that it had, and it no longer sounds like a Kenworth truck on the overrun. So that's awesome. It's also quietened it down a hell of a lot as well too, so it's actually a lot more inconspicuous rather than sound like a drag car on the street. What else do we do? Oh, and it's now no longer a four-wheel drive, but it's back to VY slammed on its ass status again, which caused an issue on the way here, because as I was backing into Daniel's driveway to pick him up and unloading all the stuff out of the back, his driveway's got a little bit of a lip. The exhaust hit that lip, came off the hangers, and actually bent the back of the exhaust. So it couldn't mount back up. We had to pull the exhaust back out just before we came here. I had it wedged underneath the car. I was sitting on the exhaust like a seesaw trying to bend it back into place, and we've shoved it back in, and now we're here. It actually turned out pretty straight considering, but luckily it's all good. Oh, and this has been added as well too. So, I'm buggered. It's been a big couple of days working on this thing, but we're ready to hopefully see if we can punch out some proper numbers now and see what this thing will do without boost creeping. Hopefully.
Hopefully. This is some dodgy LS stuff right here.
Okay, so what are we doing? We noticed when it was running before, there was a couple of little drops of oil that were coming out of the dipstick tube and dropping onto the exhaust there, so I saw a little puff of smoke. So we're thinking what's happening is when it's coming on boost, the breather system just isn't keeping up. So we need to go bigger AN lines essentially, because it's still pretty much a stock system just with this. It just might not be big enough. So we might have to look at upgrading that in the near future. So what we're gonna do so we're not down and out for tonight, because we don't want to come back for a fourth time, is we've just basically disconnected the where it sucks into the PCV valve here and into the throttle, and the outlet, all we've done is just run into a bottle here. So essentially it's just gonna vent atmosphere now, and hopefully will help it breathe a bit better under boost, because what happens is under boost that PCV valve closes and you're pressurizing the system essentially. See, this is what happens when you try and look after the environment.
I know, right? You can horsepower and environments and just don't.
We tried to do the right thing
I know.
and plumb it back in. We even have the purge valve working, which apparently was a dumb idea.
She's definitely breathing now. Can you see the smoke? Yeah. But that's good that we're seeing that. Yeah. It means it's actually breathing now.
Yeah.
What's the problem, Nathan?
Well, alright. So firstly, we were noticing the dipstick tube kept popping out. So straight away, we knew we were getting a lot of blow-by into the engine. So what we had to do was we still had a hose running from the throttle body going straight into our rocker cover. So you can only imagine the boost that we want into our engine is now blowing into there.
Yeah, so we learned something there. don't plumb that up when you go on turbo.
So we've teed that off, we've shoved a bolt in it. Our hoses are also ran into a bottle and no longer going to that bottle, so it's not going back into the engine. Everything is now venting to atmosphere. So we ran that up on the dyno and dipstick tube stayed down. So we're just going to take that as a win.
Yep.
But Jake is still not happy with the map sensor. He says it's fluctuating. So Jake's going to go get another one. So we're going to get that one. And then we're going to come back here again tomorrow night. And then do it all again.
And hopefully be done with it.
And hopefully be done with it.
I think we can safely say we're all over this.
We're over this. Yeah. Alrighty.
All right. We are back again for day 4. This feels like Groundhog Day at this point. So we've done a little bit of work already. What we've done is we have swapped over to a different map sensor. It's like actually a plug-in replacement. It was the one that I said that we should have put in the first place, that we found out about later existed. It's a swap-in, it's basically a bolt-in swap over 2-bar map sensor. Blocked off some of the oil breathers like we spoke about before, and we're just basically venting to atmosphere now, so hopefully that should be a lot better as well too. That's pretty much it. So now it's a case of fire it up, pray that we have no issues, and actually see if we can get some numbers out of this thing tonight. And if it doesn't, we light a match and we walk away. Is that a stretched out look? I don't know.
No. Everything's all good.
All right, the time has come.
Yeah, we're going for it.
We're going for our first pull. Everything's looking a-okay.
Jake said let's do it.
Let's see what happens.
Let's go.
Wow!
Jake's eyes have been full.
Backed off pretty quick though. How good did that sound?
That came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not gonna
We don't know
back
why he
that
backed
time
off so early, but looks like we're going again.
Going again.
It's scary. You reckon that was limiter?
I think that was limiter.
That was limiter.
Yeah.
So what just happens? Jake's saying that we had 0 traction.
I'm wondering if we
I thought it was the clutch. It was that bad.
Really?
The car didn't move. It was just
It's because it's sitting on the block.
yeah, I know that. It's good. It doesn't move. But yeah, just no traction.
Yeah, but I'm wondering, should we let it squat? Maybe.
Yeah, we probably have to.
Yeah.
Take the block out so it actually
Squats.
sits into it.
Yeah, and just strap it hard. I might run just a faster ramp rate to get some sort of control. Boost control is fixed.
Perfect.
Well, there we go. So that answers the question about wastegate location. Is it important? Yes!
We are all strapped down, ready to go.
See what happens. That was sick.
Oh, I want to drive it!
You tell us he's got to do
I
that.
want to drive it! It's nice.
That's like Michael, yeah.
Alrighty. Well, we've had a little bit of a win and a little bit of fail at the same time. The good thing is everything is working pretty well, yeah, Jake? It's looking good. The trouble is, it's making a little bit too much power for this dyno. Not necessarily the dyno's fault. We think the problem is because we ended up putting the lowered springs back in this thing to achieve the lowered look. Because it had to be that way, didn't it, Daniel?
Absolutely.
And the trouble is, because it's so low, it's very close to the dyno and it's actually almost bottoming out, and we've got mad camber in the back, so we're getting no traction at the moment. So as soon as Jake gets on it, it just loses traction and we can't get it figured down. We're getting less power than the initial run that we made way back a few days ago now, by the looks of it.
When we had the raised springs.
When we had the raised spring in it. So it basically means that there's not really much we can do about it at the moment. The tyres are also pretty shitty quality tyres. They're super slippery, you can feel them. It looks like we're going to have to go away and either get a better set of tyres, maybe come back with the raised springs to be able to actually pull this down. We had this sucker pulled down as tight as we possibly go, but those rear springs are about that high and it's just crushed and it's not good. So that's pretty much it. But Jake has said that we're allowed to go for a drive and we can put our foot into it. So we're going to take this off the dyno now and we're going to go for a drive and we'll let you know how that goes when we come back. We'll see what it feels like on, I think it's like only 7 pounds of boost.
Punchy.
I could hear your laugh coming down the street.
It is hard to keep it off the limiter. Like, I couldn't keep it off the limiter. It was just every gear.
Go, Michael? You can go.
Well, that wraps up the Ute for now. We all just went for a drive. It goes really good. Boost comes on hard. Limiter is there.
It is working. Traction is not.
It's awesome. Honestly, that's the first Turbo LS car that I've driven.
Same.
6-speed manual. It felt real nice. It wanted to go nice and straight. It pulled hard. It just kept pulling. Every gear you grabbed, it just kept pulling.
It honestly feels like it's pulling harder than the Fairlane does already. Like once it grabs traction and starts.
I'm not even comparing it to the Fairlane. There's no comparison.
This thing is like
we're going manual V8 turbo. There's no comparison here.
Yeah.
It just feels wild. But as you all know, we've spun a lot of wheel on the dyno. The tires are shit. The height is shit. So we need to come back. We need to reassess our situation on how we're going to make this thing stick to the rollers, and we can see if we can finally get some more power down. Right now we're only running 7 pounds of PSI. We're willing to wind this up to 14.
Yes.
12, Daniel gave me the eyeball. 12 pound, and right now we're at half of that and it's already a riot. So, we're thinking of running an e-boost. We're looking at that into the future. Maybe, so we can control some boost instead of just ramming in 12 pounds just straight away because it'd just be silly.
There's no way on the street you're going to have traction.
Not that, it's the track as well.
And the track as well.
It's not going to work if we're just ramming in 12 pound at the line. So we need to rethink a few things. We need to go back. Kind of just want to get back and tune it properly and see the real power figure.
Yeah.
So when we do come back and do that, we will film that and just do a little short episode probably of that.
We're really disappointed that we can't tell you power figure at the minute. I mean,
yes.
we're not holding out on you because we're holding out ourselves as well in this because we want to know just as much as you guys do. But this is the situation that we're in. We've been here for 4 days now.
We've been here for 4 days straight. It's been some big days.
Yeah, we've had some really big days working on this thing, and like honestly, Jake, thank you so much for all the work that you did to get this thing to where it is, because Jake has put in a lot of hours and a lot of time to get this thing from the turd that it was to what is already an incredible driving car, and it's only halfway to its potential.
Yes. We are nothing without Jake.
Yes, so, you know, we learn a lot from this experience as well too. Heaps of things that we can now go, oh yeah, we need to remember that for next time. So that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we need to wrap this up because we've been rambling on.
Yes, if you want to keep watching what we're doing with this car and all our other projects, make sure you like and subscribe. There will be some grudge racing, I can tell you that. once I fix my shit box, I think we're quite hooked on the turbo LS combo. I think we're going to work with it.
Yeah, it was funny before, after all this hassle, Nathan was like, I think we're done with turbos, LSs for a little while. And he went for the drive, he was like, I think there's going to be more turbo LS than LIs. Anyway, so in the comments below, put in what you reckon will be the final figure on this thing once we get this fixed up and actually get some numbers down. Comment below what you reckon the final figures will be. Person that gets closest to that, when we finally figure it out, I'll send you out a Hackshop sticker pack.
Yep.
Anyway, until we are on to the next episode, we don't know what that looks like at the moment.
Yeah. I think it's bedtime.
It is definitely bedtime. This thing will be back. We will get some power down. We will get grip, and we'll see what it really does do.
Yeah.
Until then, we'll see you in the next episode. Look, it's all gold in the reflection. Alright. See you, bye.
It's running away.
We always say we come here to Jake's Dyno for a pre-check first, where we get things wrong, and Jake goes, you need to go back and fix that, and we come back a few days later with problem solved. So,
I love it when he looked at the centre, he's like, we're not dynoing this tonight.
Yeah. I was like, really?
I may have put the jacks down too close to where the oil needs to
It's getting heavier.
It's early, it's not even lunchtime yet.
Jesus, Jake.
Anybody ask for some power?
What do people think of the Fairlane design that we're running as a concept here? Should we make them? Should we make this as a run of t-shirts for us? It's like a limited edition. I like it.
I think we should.
Did we get it wrong when we put our wastegate gauge? Yeah.
Go away, gays.
I just want to see it run some numbers.
Here's the Commodore sound.
ABS fault. Oh, it's still ABS. Yeah.